peace within yourself, nobody can touch you, no matter what happens.
They can say anything they want to say, try to bring me down, but I will not allow anyone to succeed, hanging clouds over me, and they can't try hard to make me feel that I don't matter at all, but I refuse to falter in what I believe or lose faith in my dreams, 'cause there's a light in me that shines brightly. They can try, but they can't take that away from me. They can do anything they want to you if you let them in, but they won't ever win if you cling to your pride and just push them aside. See, I have learned there's an inner peace I own, something in my soul that they cannot possess, so I won't be afraid and the darkness won't fade, 'cause there's a light in me that shines brightly. Yes, they can try, but they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take this precious love always have been so me. Certainly the Lord will guide me where I need to go. They can say anything they want to say, try to break me down, but I won't face the ground. I will rise and sailing out of their reach. Oh Lord, they do try hard to make me feel that I don't matter at all, but I refuse to falter in what I believe or lose faith in my dreams, 'cause there's a light in me that shines brightly. Yes, they can try, but they can't take that away from me. From
They can try. They can try. They can try. But they can't take that away from us, from you. No matter what is happening in your life, no matter what is happening in the world, no matter what is happening and what has happened in your past, no matter what has happened, yes, they can try, but they can't take that away from you, from us. And this is a power. I love this song so much. It's like one of my favorite theme songs, and Mariah Carey calls it her theme song. And I just really wanted to play it for us today because I thought this was such a powerful way to start our session today, especially with, I have a few surprises for you today, which I'm really excited about. And as we start every single one of our sessions here at the Kingdom, I want to make sure that all of you who are here for the very, very first time ever, that you type first time in the chat box. And I see you, Mary Teresa. I know I love being in the little bubble in the bottom too. It's kind of fun, right? So if this is your first time, I want you to type first time into the chat box so we know it's your first time. And if this is not your first time, hello, Alan. I want you to just type in where you're coming in from, okay? Because this is really a special thing for us all to be able to see how we are coming together from all over the world. This is so powerful and so incredible for us. And so hello to your first timers, and you'll see our community will welcome you here. We are in for a powerful session together. And if you have any trouble or you hear anybody else having any trouble with the audio or anything like that, just tell them to refresh their page and everything will be all good. Okay? So as we are here, one of the things that I like to anchor us into every single session, and I don't say these really to be repetitive, I say it to remind us of what's true. Because with everything going on in the world, right? Everything on the news and in the stock market and this and this and that. So much, right? And there's going to continue to be a lot. Sometimes there won't be that much. Sometimes there will be a lot. There's pretty much always a lot. But it's like what's getting fed to be at the front of our attention is what we are paying attention to. And so I repeat these belief statements here in the kingdom to remind us to just anchor into this energy, to create an energy vortex of what it is that we believe here. And so here, when you're at the kingdom, you're in a safe space. You're in a safe space. We believe that all beliefs are welcome here. We believe that all biologies are welcome here. We believe in the power of music to open our hearts and our minds. And sometimes I'll have a special guest sing. Sometimes I'll sing. Sometimes it'll be Mariah Carey. You know, we've had Jennifer Hudson and Christina Aguilera. I don't know anybody else's service who are having them. So here's something special at the kingdom. All for free too. They donated their time. And we believe here at the kingdom that wisdom can come from many places, and we believe in an expanded definition of self, knowing that we're all connected to one another. We really are, no matter how much we try to other people or other parts of ourselves, that we are connected, whether we like it or not, you know? And so that gives us a new definition of self. Here at the kingdom, we don't honor or tolerate each other's differences. We don't just do that, but we know that we're stronger because of them. And last but not least, we rise together. And so I just want to say hello to everybody here. Alan from Western Mass, and oh, hello, first time from Kansas City. I can't see your name in the chat, but I see you. Anna, Rebecca, hello, Rebecca. Hawaii, Tim, Oregon, Canada, Wisconsin, Vegas, Washington, Truckee, Indiana, LA, just all over. New York, San Francisco, Hudson Valley, Boston, London, Vancouver, just amazing. Nova Scotia. We have people from all over the place. And so look at what we're building. Look at everything happening in the world and look at what we are building. This is community. This is rising strong. And I promise you, I will continue to pull us together in this space of hope and possibility to remind you of the truth of who you are, because they can't take that away from you. All right. So as we continue on in our session today, what a gift. We always begin with a poem or music or song. In a moment, I'll guide us into a prayer. And for those of you who this is your first time or who you haven't been in a while, what we do is I'll lead us through a kind of a channeled prayer. And then I'll leave about 60 seconds of silence. And that's a moment for you to welcome in your personal prayer. And right now we're actually planning, I just want to let you know, like the wheels are in motion. We'll see what the universe allows, but we're actually planning some in-person kingdom style events happening hopefully in the fall. And my vision is that we will all be able to come together and in this moment of personal prayer, that we'll be able to say our prayers in all of our different religions and traditions and backgrounds and languages all out loud at once and just hear it reverberating through the hall or the space that we're in. And then we jump into a teaching, which is sometimes by me or a special guest that I interview, a practice, a golden nugget, and a power action to help you take these teachings into action in your life. You know, one of the things that I've always loved about church is, it inspires you, right? Any kind of service or thing, you get this inspiration, but I've always thought about how do we bring this inspiration into action? Like, how do we take this into our lives for real? Not just, woo, 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 in theory, I'm going to be positive, and then you go cuss your kids out, in the car afterwards. So how do we actually take this stuff and put it into our lives? And that's one of my commitments. If you're in my community, you know that I am committed to not just talking about change, but helping us actually change something. And so everything you come to with me, whether it's the kingdom or a course or beyond, that's the bar that we're setting ourselves towards. And you all can hold me to that, okay? And I'll hold myself to it as well. And so I see you all. Hello, everybody. And let's begin with our prayer. Go ahead and place your hands just over your heart. You can place them in this traditional prayer mudra if you want, but if you do, try, I always do this weird, hooking your left thumb over your right. I learned this from Sienna Sherman. It's a beautiful energy seal if you do this, but I actually just like to do this. And if you want to even try something else, you can do the unshakable trust mudra, which we've learned with Sienna as well. So you interlace your fingers, point your thumbs up, and place it right over the center of your chest. And this is a mudra of unshakable trust. And so we can do all of those things as we dive into the power of our prayer. Let's go ahead and pray. God, Spirit, universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, by all the names you go by, the formless, the presence, the force that guides all of our lives forward, that makes our heart beat, that makes the ocean waves flap against the shore, that makes the world turn, that makes us breathe, that makes the planets spin around this sun. May we remember that it's all connected. Thank you for reminding us, and may we remember that that same energy, the same exact energy of life that makes our heartbeats is the same exact energy, not in theory, but in reality, that makes the world spin and makes the waves crash against the shore. It's the same energy. And please, may we remember that no matter what is going on in our lives or in the world, that we can always connect back into this place. And when we forget, thank you for reminding us quickly. Thank you for this community, for this space here and now. This is your moment now for your personal prayer. With wings and arms wide open, hearts to the sky, we thank you. We are so grateful for this community. We are so grateful for this life. Please help us remember to be in the spirit of gratitude for this moment, not where we're headed, not where we think we're going, but for the gift and the miracle of this moment right now. This breath, this breath, this breath. Thank you. So it is. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Amen, Satnam, Awen, Om, Shalom. Thank you. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you on this incredible day. And I look forward to Sundays so much. We're on our 29th session of the Kingdom, which is really powerful and amazing. And I just want to thank all of you who've continued to come and continue to help make this community grow so strong It's really powerful and really beautiful. I'm excited to be with you all in person as soon as the universe allows, but we're planning for it. And so today is going to be fun. Today, I think it's always fun, but today in particular is going to be fun because we have a few special little things happening today. So this session today is on the power of new cycles. New cycles, okay? Because we're all kind of in this new cycle. And as we're getting to the end of January, here we are on is it the last day? The last day of January, heading into Black History Month. Last week, I know I told you all that I was going to play the last video from the Voices of Hope, the Manifest class. I lied, because so many of you actually wrote to me and said, what about Shelah Marie? What about Shelah Marie? And so I'm doing something special today because Shelah Marie's video was really, really special. And the only reason I hadn't played it is because we've already had her as a guest before, but actually this interview is really something really fantastic, and it wouldn't make sense to play it after January. And so we are going to do, like we've been doing this month, I'm going to play an interview that I did with Shelah Marie just before the new year. And as we go through this interview with Shelah, what I want you all to make sure you're doing, because we're all going to be watching it together, when we're doing these watching together, I don't want you to pretend like you're just like watching a TV show, right? Because there's something different about the energy that we are bringing together to this. And so for those of you who are new, you can probably see in the chat box what we already do is when you hear something that me or Shelah or anybody else says, you throw your little prayer hands up in the chat. And if you don't have the little hands emoji, you can actually even just type in the word hands up, and that will give you the opportunity to participate or throw smiley faces in. And we also type in like quotes that we want to remember, because this helps us as a community really dig into the main takeaways. And so this session with Shelah Marie is very, very special, and it's about new cycles. But before that, I have a special guest. And I would love for my special guest to come in from the audience and call in right now. My special guest today is somebody who is a very, very, very close and dear part of this powerful community that we're in. And she's somebody who's here with us almost every single week. And I found out recently that she's an incredible singer and songwriter and artist. And so as soon as she calls in, you will be hearing from somebody very special who many of you will recognize her name as soon as she comes on up. And so this is going to be a very special and powerful moment, because I love creating this space for our community to have a chance to really, really participate and share our gifts. And so without further ado, I'm going to welcome up my special guest right now. Hold on, here we go. Shannon Warto. Shannon!
Hello!
Oh my gosh. All right, everybody. So this is Shannon. And Shannon Warto is an incredible part of our community. She's been here. Shannon, have you been here for almost every kingdom?
I've been here probably about halfway through. I discovered late in the game, but I loved every single episode that I've tuned into.
Oh, well, Shannon is here. And Shannon, remind us where you're calling in from today.
I am calling in from San Francisco.
San Francisco, from the Bay Area where I'm from. And so Shannon is here. And Shannon, I just want to tell you a little bit about Shannon. So first of all, Shannon is just incredible. Spirit, heart, just everything, Shannon. I'm so grateful to have you here. And Shannon is a singer and a songwriter and a children's book author. And she's been performing in California around the Monterey Bay Area for the past 20 years. And she really has this incredible gift of sharing her soul through singing and through really feeling the heart connection that she's able to create with her listeners. And so Shannon actually recorded a special song called Mission Statement that feels really perfect for us ending January and stepping into the new cycles of our lives. And we're actually going to hear the song at the end of the kingdom today. But right here at the top of the kingdom, I wanted to give Shannon a moment to read the lyrics so you all can feel these lyrics they're incredible, in your heart, and take them with you through this session with Shelah, and also feel the resonance of them in your own heart for when she sings at the end. And so, Shannon, thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I'm gonna. Is there anything that you want to share actually before we jump into it?
I'm just so grateful to be here and to share my heart with you all.
Shannon, you're the best. Awesome. So here we go. I'm gonna see if this works how I want it to work. There you are. It did. And so, Shannon, in just a moment, I am going to put the titles of these slides up on the screen, and you'll have a moment to just read from your heart to us. And what I want our community to do is I want you all to type in the moments from Shannon's words that are resonating with you. All right, so Shannon, take it away.
Thank you. Love, listen, and learn from life with openness. Open heart, open mind, open eyes, and open ears. All of which is to be done with joy, laughter, song, compassion, authenticity, and appreciation. Gain strength through times of suffering, and teach others through action, not thought. By doing this, you'll discover your path through following your heart. By following your heart, you will be fulfilled and happy. That happiness will make you whole and give you inner peace. Love, listen, and learn from life with openness. Thank you.
Shannon, you are such a gift. You are such a gift. Thank you so much for blessing us with that love. What is it? Love, listen, and learn from life with openness. Find that inner peace. And I'm so excited for everybody to witness the full song version of this at the end of the Kingdom today. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We'll see you soon. So everybody, without further ado, I'm so excited to welcome Shelah Marie and this special interview that I did with her for our series called Voices of Hope. Listen closely.
We're scared of what happens in the pause and in the silence, but if we don't have that, there is no beginning of a new cycle or a new thought or a new direction.
Hey, this is Justin Michael Williams, and before you get started on watching this interview that I know you're excited to watch, I want to tell you that this interview series is a part of a special event that our community does that is totally free every year called Manifest New Year's Eve. Now, whether you're watching this close to the new year or not, listen carefully because I want to give you this context. Every year, at the end of the year, our community puts together this incredible event that helps you set your mission, vision, and goals for the year to come. And our theme is you don't get what you want in life. You get what you are. You get what you are. So it's about who you're becoming so that you can transform. And these interviews, this interview that you're about to watch was a part of that special event. And the best part is it's free and you can watch it anytime you want. So if you go to this website, manifestnye.com, you can see the full replay of our 3-hour masterclass featuring all of these incredible special guests like Young Pueblo, Dr. Tama, Dan Siegel, Sarah King, Sienna Sherman, Vanessa In, and more. And our community coming together so that we can actually transform our lives. And you'll get a special manifest workbook that will walk you through every single step of the process. And it's totally free. It's our gift to you because what we really believe is that no matter who you love, no matter how much money is in your bank account, no matter what your identity is, and no matter what color your skin is, we all deserve to live in the full abundance that is our birthright. And so it's a great honor to be on this journey with you and to present to you this interview from Manifest New Year's Eve. May you be well. Hey everybody, this is Justin Michael Williams with Manifest New Year's Eve, and I am so excited and honored to have my special guest. This is my girl, y'all. I have to tell you, I am so excited to have Shelah Marie here for this interview today. I have to tell you all a little secret, okay? So it's not that big of a secret to know that one of the big things that we were hoping to do with Manifest New Year's Eve in 2020 going to 2021 is in the beginning of the year, Shelah and I were planning a big in-person gathering, like a whole thing that obviously isn't happening because of COVID. And so when we pivoted right away, I said, Shelah, even though we're having a massive pivot this year, and hopefully we're going to be together next New Year's, but even still, I wanted to make sure that your voice was heard because of all the voices that I've heard this year. I think yours is one of the most important to hear. So Shelah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. That really means so much to me. Anything that you are a part of, it's a hell yes for me. And I hope I can curse because I just did. So.
Well, I love you. And Shelah, you said something on your Instagram a couple weeks ago, or it might've been days ago. I don't even know how long it was at this point, but you said something that really stuck with me. And I think this is really relevant to all of us as we're getting into what we want to manifest in the new year's. Because so many of us talk about things that we should do as we're writing our visions for ourselves. And you wrote this post that said, I have decided this year that I'm not doing anything that I don't want to. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And I thought the way you wrote it was so genius. I might pull it up and read it in a minute, but can you just talk about that? From the should to the want and how that's shifted in your life.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with a friend who had created a long-term course and I wanted to create a long-term course. And I was talking to her and I was like, well, I should have a Facebook group because like, that's what you should have if you're making a course. And she was like, well, you shouldn't have it if you don't like Facebook, right? Like, don't do anything that you don't enjoy doing. Why? Because not only is your audience going to feel it, you're not going to feel it, and everybody loses. And so at the beginning of 2020, wow, it just feels so weird to even say that. At the beginning of 2020, I was like, you know what? I spent my whole life kind of micromanaging everything. I'm one of those people where my big problem is I'm a know-it-all. Like we read a lot, research a lot, done a lot of self-work. And so our real defense mechanism through life is having control and saying and doing things. And so at the beginning of 2020, I said, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to try to live by the mantra, live life with ease. And a part of that is being in joy and doing things that I like to do. And I find that when I do that, I say no a lot more. So I felt that I was kind of rolling in this tumbleweed of feeling like I should be taking up on all of these new social platforms and doing all of these new things and creating all of this content because that's what everybody else is doing. But that's not what makes me happy. And so, you know, I like doing little things like decorating my house and spending time with my bonus kids and watching Netflix with my husband. And before I would feel guilty for those things, like I should be working more. But why should I? That's not my particular path. And so when you stay in the joy and do things you want to do, which can, especially for women, can sound selfish up front. We can be like, well, only do what I want. Well, what about everybody else? That's another story. But for what we're talking about now is as much as we can to stay into doing what brings us joy, because then we hop in that flow. Before you know it, ideas are coming up, solutions are coming up, and things flow easy. Like I felt like I didn't have to control so much. And I'm tired, boss. I don't want to control everything anymore. It's tiring.
It's so hard. You know, I just was pulling some tarot cards and reading some Oprah stuff and she had this quote from Wayne Dyer about surrender. And I found it super fascinating because Wayne Dyer gave this amazing quote that he was like, you didn't do nothing to get here. Like the whole first 9 months and everything whatever, it's like you had nothing to ask for. You weren't like, you know what, God, I need my nose to be right here and I need my eye to be right there and I need it to be like this. Like you just were in full surrender. And then you're born and all of a sudden everybody around us and we're like, okay, God, great work. I'll take it from here. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I got this now,
Exactly.
and
You,
we control. So how do you manage that?
I found that I was talking to a friend the other day who is a workaholic. And I asked her, what is the function of work in your life? And so I asked myself, what is the function of the control in my life? Like working, you're a workaholic. Like, what does that mean though? It doesn't really mean anything unless we go under the surface, under the surface and take a deeper dive. And so for me, I had to ask myself, what is the function of the control? Why do I feel the need to control? And that's essentially because I don't trust enough. It's a lack of trust in myself, and it's a lack of trust in something higher than me to take it from here. It's exactly that example that you just gave from Wayne Dyer. And so what I find is that I ask myself, like today, what can I let go of? What can I let go of control? Today, I convinced myself that I needed to make sure I had patio furniture because I have a small gathering with my family. And I said, what can I let control of? And then my mind was like, you can get some of that cheap stuff. Your family doesn't care. They don't care. They want to sit outside and be together. And I was like, you're right. Why was I putting that pressure on myself? So I asked myself, what can I let control of, and investigate what the function of that control is. And usually it's that lack of trust, is that you think if I don't do it in this way, it won't be the way I want it. And it's sometimes we need to let go and make space for better. Your family might have the best time ever on that plastic table and bust out the spades, and everybody's sitting out there watching Home Alone 2, and nobody will ever think about your patio furniture. It's
No,
not a big
nobody's gonna say, you know what, that was a great night, but ooh, her table, girl.
Hello.
Right.
Exactly. It's like an illusion. There's this way in which I find that over and over again, I have to remind myself to stop compartmentalizing my joy and putting it on the outside. My joy, my day is not going to be joyous if I have a particular patio furniture set. That's not the real joy. The joy is, what do you like? Well, you like making spaces beautiful and you love entertaining. Do that. Do that, right? And keep it here, so that I know and I trust, again, going back to trust, that I always make things beautiful and that I always enjoy entertaining. And regardless of whatever way it plays out, those things are present within me. They're a part of who I am. And so when I let go of the control of what I think it should look like, then I can rest into the oh, this is going to be great. Whatever happens, don't need to put pressure on myself.
This is so good. So, okay, so in the moments when you're not feeling that joy, when you're not feeling the joy, the connection to that joy, what do you do to pull yourself back? Like, how do you rein yourself in? Or do you get in those moments, Shelah, where you're just like, well, nothing's working?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I found that now I am a avid holiday lover. I love the holiday season. I look forward to it. And I found myself today being stressed about all the stuff you can get rolled into with the holidays. And I did find myself, I looked around the store and I was like, wow, look at everybody is so stressed. This is exactly what they talked about in the Grinch, or whatever. Like when they said, this the story about the gifts. And I just thought what I find is really important is the same way, if you have ever been around a child who's kind of losing it, like the timeout thing, like, hey, check in with me. Not necessarily like putting them in the corner, but like that check-in. I don't know if you ever have like a niece or a nephew and you're like, okay, 1 second. Hey,
You get down to their level and be like,
right. And what does Super Nanny say? She says, don't talk down at them, stand above them, get to their eye level, use a calm voice, and then address the issue. And then when it's over, tell them that they did a good job, right? And so I kind of use that on myself. So I'm not mean to myself, not the talking down, not the look at you getting rolled up in holiday stuff. Who didn't meditate enough, right? But hey, you're getting rolled up again in this, aren't you? I'm like, I am. I'm getting stressed over the patio thing. That's okay. It's okay to be stressed. All right. Hey, good job. Good job checking in. And it's like that. It takes 30 seconds. It's in my head. I don't necessarily say it out loud. I was actually walking in Target as I was doing this, but it's like that light. It has to be gentle. It's a light and gentle and honest check-in with yourself.
This is beautiful. I pulled up the post that you had written and it was so beautiful that I just want to read it. It said You know, it's hard not to fall into the temptation of creating things, courses, content, etc., because you think that's what people want. And that first part of it just alone, as people are going into writing their vision and going into the life that they want to create, we're in such a reset moment right now with this ritual. And so I
Yes.
think one of the powerful things, you know, that you said here is, you know, creating things that we think people want. So based on others' expectations, based on the should. And right now you're obviously mentioning courses and stuff, but it goes in so many areas of our lives.
All the time. All the time. I find it is so difficult, especially we live in a very specific time right now where we have access to so much information and feedback. Like there's just so much talk and everything out there. If we happen to get uncentered, if we get too much in the wave of everything that's going on, we can lose our center and our balance and just be thinking, like for me, I'm a person who produces content that I think will make people's lives better. So that's good. Okay, great. But on the downside of that is every time an event comes up, every time something comes up troubling in the media, every time I think, well, what I have to do something, I have to do something. And thinking that I have to stress myself out and wear myself thin to then give content that, to be honest, Justin, when you do it like that, it doesn't have the oomph that you want. It's thin because you came at it with thin energy. I'm overworked. Everybody loses. And so I find like to resist that temptation of feeling of, you know, shiny things or that squirrel. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But for me,
Yeah.
I feel like anybody watching this, you know, our community, it comes from a good place. You know,
Yeah.
you might have talents, you might have been given opportunities, you might feel that you have knowledge, and you might feel that in order to like take advantage of it or, you know, show appreciation, you got to go for everything, and you really don't. Like what you just said about, you said like this is a moment of reset. If we don't rest, we can't reset.
Yes. If we don't rest, we can't reset. See, that's it. And it's taking that moment for ourselves so that we can actually be really honest with ourselves about what is the truth
The
of what.
pause, Justin, we are scared of it. I don't know. We're scared of what happens in the pause and in the silence. But if we don't have that, there is no beginning of a new cycle or a new thought or a new direction.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. You know, the other part of what you said here that I just want to like pull the string on a little bit more for people, you know, because I really, Sheila, this is like one of the most impactful. I know it was such a short post, but it proves that when you're saying something from your heart, it really resonates
That's
deeply.
so
You know,
true. I find
what
it.
you said here was the truth is, if you don't enjoy creating it, your audience will feel that and nobody wins. What's been the most successful for me is creating what I genuinely enjoy doing. You know, maybe I'll continue reading or not, but I'll leave it right there. And so I think the whole reason why I'm saying this is because when you're, and I'm saying you're to everyone listening, no matter what it is, like the holiday party, right? The event that you want to host, the conference you want to do, the book you want to write, the exercise that you want to do, all of it. If you're doing it in a way because you feel like you should and you're not enjoying it, the energy that comes through. I think about sometimes with my family, like my sister, my mom be so stressed to
Honey,
get dinner
yes.
ready and the presents wrapped on time that by the time we're all sitting down to eat dinner, I don't even want to talk to them anymore because they were so stressed and so
Yeah,
wound up at getting it
right.
done. Why are we even doing this? Like, I don't even want to sit here anymore, you know?
Right. And we know better. We do it anyway. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah. So it's just like everything that you do, from making dinner to planning the holidays to what you're visioning in your life, the energy that you're bringing into it affects the energy that people receive from it.
and even taking that a step further, the energy that you create a thing with stays with the thing. So,
Mm.
for example, like working out, you just mentioned, right? That's something that I always go back and forth with. Oh, I'm not working out enough. But I find that last night I was making a TikTok with my family. I got exercise. We were dancing for a long time. I didn't think about calories. I didn't think about nothing. I was just thinking about moving because it feels good. I love dancing. When I put on music around the house, I'm dancing, I'm having fun. I love my little twerk workshops that I go to. I have so much fun. I don't think about the time. But when I say you have to do this right now, I find that I give up, I'm not motivated, and I don't feel the way that I want to feel. So I feel like if we think about the energy that we're creating something with, that can be a really good guide. Like,
Yeah.
what's my energy right now? Is this the energy that I want to create this family function with?
Yeah. See, this is beautiful. And so, to go a little bit deeper and in a slightly different twist here is as people are now, writing their visions, and I think most of the people who've seen this will have done the Manifest New Year's Eve workbook and all of that, which you're a special guest on. And and for anybody who's watching this and you haven't seen the workbook, you can just go to manifestnye.com for newyearseve.com and get it. It's free for everybody. But most of the people watching this will have written their visions and will have started to create ideas of what it is that they want to birth into their lives in the world. And I'm curious what tips you have to make it count this year. Because I think 2020, everybody was like,
oh yeah,
none of this was on my vision board. You know what I mean?
Right. This was not on my bingo card. I love reverse engineering goal setting because that's kind of what we're talking about, right? I want to make sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So usually we're like, oh, I want to earn $1 million, right? Let's say I want to get $1 million. And then we work towards the $1 million. I like to go in the reverse. So for example, if the goal was, I want to make $1 million, I would ask myself, well, when I get $1 million, how would I feel? Oh, well, I would feel safe, or I would feel secure. I would feel wealthy. Okay. And then, so what I do from then is I like reverse engineer what is the emotion that I'm chasing, really? What's the feeling behind all of this? So that if I had the feeling, regardless of the $1 million or not, I still have what I wanted anyway from the goal. And so I love to create affirmations, or I like put down the emotions like safe, right? Start with the emotions, secure, wealthy, and then I create affirmations out of that. I am safe. I am always at all times secure. And I really work on that. I literally hone in them, not leaf blower focus, laser focus on what do you want 2021 to feel like for you? What do you want your emotional landscape and feeling and experience to be like, divorced from the ending goal, which is what we think will give us what we want. But in reality, it starts the other way. When you feel safe, right? Let's just use this example. If you felt safe, if you reminded yourself that you have the ability to keep yourself safe regardless of what's going on, that you create the feeling of security, that you create the feeling of wealth, that you give that to yourself, you actually will attract that similar energy in people and ideas and thoughts and actions. But regardless, what you've done is you've taken what we were talking about earlier. You've taken that thing that you think is on the outside, like Christmas, like in this box wrapped up, and you've taken it and you've put it inside of yourself, which I think is an extremely powerful act. And if there's nothing that we've learned from 2020 is that we all need to be reminded of our personal power.
I'm just taking a second to let that land, because that's it. And I love what you did there, Shelah, because what most people would have done, you already know, is I want $1 million, so let me reverse engineer. And I think where a lot of people thought you were going to go with that was, okay, so to make $1 million, you got to sell 10 people this and that one this a month and one that a month. And you just said,
and where would that have went? Probably to a lot of doing things you don't want to do.
There we go. That's it. So you went to the anchor, which is one of our main focuses. And I love this because we didn't even talk about this, but it's one of the main focuses for Manifest New Year's Eve this year is you don't get what you want in life, you get what you are. So who is it that you want to become? Who is it that you want to become?
That's good.
Did you feel that?
Yes, I did. That is so good.
That's our main theme. You get what you are. And so what is it and who is it that you want to become? And so that's why I was just blown away when you said you want $1 million and you just went straight to the feeling. What is the feeling? Because that's what we're really searching for. You know, I'm thinking about this in my own life right now and all the different things that I'm thinking that I want to accomplish this year. And even like some things of like building the community out bigger, you know? And it's like, okay, what is it that I'm wanting by building this community? What is it that I'm wanting to feel? And it's really interesting because I think a big piece of it is just like connection, you know,
Right.
like feeling
We're starving for it.
connection, you know, and like love and like community, which I know isn't community is not necessarily a feeling, but you get what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
that
But
family.
connectedness is,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. And so that's beautiful to just start that now, like just make the connectedness happen now, you
and
know?
the sense of belonging, and also the sense that your work is impacting people,
Yeah.
right? That you're making a difference, all of that, which you are, by the way, just so you know, I'm here to tell you.
We're doing what we can, you know, and I think, you know, in closing, one of the things that I've been wanting to ask you, you know, is what are you doing differently this year when
Mm,
it comes to how you're setting your goals and your vision and your mission? What are you doing differently in 2021?
Let me make sure I'm answering that the best way. Okay. So for me, what has been kind of a little bit of a crutch in the past is that I get scared to fully step into my light or like my zone of genius because I want I have this people pleaser thing where I want to make everybody happy. I'm
Mhm.
very at the same time I'm very not like whatever. I'm my own thing. I'm Sheila, I'm bold, but still a little Sheila that's like, but I want everybody to get it. I want everybody to understand me. I want everybody to, right? Like, I kind of just want to walk into the room and I just want to be friends with everybody. And what I realized is that is holding me back. The
Mm.
idea that, you know, it's vanilla. If you are speaking to everybody, essentially you're speaking to nobody. And so in 2021, what I am doing is I'm starting first with myself, is making peace on a deeper level with everything that I am and everything that I'm perceived to be not, right? Why? Because I feel like I'm stepping bolder. Right now, I personally feel on a deep level, the world needs more people to step into their light. The world needs more people that are going to be in, we need more light in general. I don't know if you agree. I just feel like we need lightness right now, right? So I feel that we need more people that are not going to be afraid to put forward their thoughts, their ideas,
Yeah.
their products. You know, this is kind of weird to say all of that. I do that to myself all the time. Oh, well, I don't want to talk about astrology in front of my family. Like, I'm not going to be just pushing it onto people,
Yeah.
but I am taking the shame off of who I am. I am releasing shame. Shame, it has a low frequency of what, 20 to 40 hertz. It's going to hold us down like an anchor into the bottom of the sea, which is nice if you're like plankton, but not for us. So, okay, I don't want to be there. And so I'm releasing the shame and the need to be validated by everyone else. That only happens when you make peace with yourself on a deeper level. So actually, even in 2021, I also don't have goals. Like, usually I have like all of these goals. I have a goal in spiritual, community, this, financial. I don't. Like, my only goal is that I always return to myself.
Mm.
As I do that check in with myself, is that before I make any decision, is that I do that. That's my only goal, is to stay centered in who
I am going to do something I normally don't do. I'm going to run that last little part back so you can hear it again because she left so many gems right there that I even need to hear it again. So I was like, okay, you need to hear it. I already know we all need to hear it again. So I'm going to run this last little question back and we're going to listen to this together. This is the last couple of minutes. Isn't she the best? Okay, here we go. Differently this year when
I
it comes to how you're setting your goals and your vision and your mission. What are you doing differently in 2021?
am. Let me make sure I'm answering that the best way. Okay. So for me, what has been kind of a little bit of a crutch in the past is that I get scared to fully step into my light or like my zone of genius because I want I have this people pleaser thing where I want to make everybody happy. I'm
Mhm.
very, at the same time, I'm very not like whatever. I'm my own thing. I'm Sheila. I'm bold. But there's still a little Sheila that's like, but I want everybody to get it. I want everybody to understand me. I want everybody to, right? Like, I kind of just want to walk into the room and I just want to be friends with everybody. And what I realized is that is holding me back. The
Mm.
idea that, you know, it's vanilla. If you are speaking to everybody, essentially you're speaking to nobody. And so in 2021, what I am doing is I'm starting first with myself, is making peace on a deeper level with everything that I am and everything that I'm perceived to be not, right? Why? Because I feel like I'm stepping bolder. Right now, I personally feel on a deep level, the world needs more people to step into their light. The world needs more people that are going to be in, we need more light in general. I don't know if you agree. I just feel like we need lightness right now, right? So I feel that we need more people that are not going to be afraid to put forward their thoughts, their ideas,
Yeah.
their products. You know, this is kind of weird to say all of that. I do that to myself all the time. Oh, well, I don't want to talk about astrology in front of my family. Like, I'm not going to be just pushing it onto people,
Yeah.
but I am taking the shame off of who I am. I am releasing shame. Shame, it has a low frequency of what, 20 to 40 hertz. It's going to hold us down like an anchor into the bottom of the sea, which is nice if you're like plankton, but not for us. So, okay, I don't want to be there. And so I'm releasing the shame and the need to be validated by everyone else. That only happens when you make peace with yourself on a deeper level. So actually, even in 2021, I also don't have goals. Like, usually I have like all of these goals. I have a goal in spiritual, community, this, financial. I don't. Like, my only goal is that I always return to myself.
Mm.
As I do that check-in with myself, is that before I make any decision, is that I do that. That's my only goal, is to stay centered in who I am.
Beautiful. This is beautiful, Sheila. Beautiful. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you.
time. And, I think the last thing that I'll just ask you, if you can just anchor into your heart and give one wish to everybody
Mhm.
listening for this year, what would be your wish for everybody who's listening?
My wish for anyone listening to this right now is that you know how powerful you are, and you have the power to keep yourself safe and strong and create a reality that is beautiful beyond belief. That was my wish, that you know how powerful you are.
You are so bomb, Sheila. You were just bomb, okay? Just period. Like
Well, like attracts like,
you
so
know, that's it. Shit. I mean, if I'm vibrating at that frequency, great. That's attracting you. Great. We were right on track for 20.
ditto, ditto.
I love you. Thank you so much, Sheila. It really means a lot that you made time to come and do this with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I hope this has helped somebody, and 2021 is going to be the best year yet.
Oh, amazing. And for you watching, thank you so much for taking the time out of your life and your schedule and your day to listen to us. I hope this leaves you smiling even more than you were before you got onto this video. And if you want to learn more about Sheila, there's information right in the description and the notes to get in touch with her and all of her incredible programs and offerings and retreats and all the things that she offers to the world. I love you so much. This is Justin Michael Williams signing out, and I'll meet you right here in this special place next time we're together. Bye for now. How about it? How about that? Oh my gosh, you all. What an absolute gift, and just a true gift that Sheila is to this world. I really, 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 really hope you all go blow her up on Instagram. Like, just blast her with love. Shelah Marie she is the best. She's like a sister to me, in so many ways. And I think all the guests that we've had are just amazing and bring something different to the table. But I think one of the things that I love so much about Sheila is just how like real and direct and clear that she is in all of her teachings. And, I want just to take a moment right now, as we're having this moment with Sheila, to just put your hands over your heart, close your eyes. And we're going to just take a couple moments to really take this in. You just had a lot of energy blasted out you. I'm sure you felt it. And so take a breath in and a breath out. And then open your eyes. And I want to do with you all one of the breathing practices that we've been doing with our 40 Days to Transformation crew. It's a breath, simple breath that I actually learned years ago from Sienna Sherman. Not that long ago, actually, but it's very easy. You just inhale. I'm going to have to get up a little bit. So you inhale and you bring your palms up like this, and then you exhale and just keep your hands soft and bring your hands down to your waist. Okay. So it's like an inhale. So you just sit, inhale, palms come up to the heart, exhale, hands come down to the waist. And so just do that on your own cycle. Do that with me. Inhale, exhale, and keep your palms super light. Inhale, exhale. That's it. And you can close your eyes once you have it and just feel the energy of your hands moving in rhythm with your breath. Inhale and exhale. And then on your next one, the next time your hands come up, let them come and fold right over your heart, keeping your eyes closed if that feels okay for you. And if closing your eyes doesn't feel good, you can just keep them open, but just look down and keep a soft gaze. Blurt out the eyes a little bit. And from everything you learned from Shelah today, what's the number one thing you want to remember? This will be our golden nugget practice. So if there was one thing that you could remember from Shelah, what would it be? I know there's a lot, but if there was only one that you could really keep, what would that one thing be? And then keeping yourself in this soft, centered space, because we're going to come back to this in just a moment. Just open your eyes for just a second and type it into the chat. And as soon as you type it into the chat, bring your palms back over your heart and take a few more breaths for the second part of our practice. So you don't even have to go crazy reading everybody's responses. Just type yours in, and we'll come back and look at them in a moment. And then take a deep breath in and a breath out. And now I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to just listen to what arises with this questions. It'll be a couple questions. The first part is, what is something that you're really hoping to accomplish in your life right now? Even if it's something that's bringing you a little bit stress, that you feel like you're swimming upstream for, that you've been really working for, it's hard to do, or anything. Even if it's easy, whatever it is, but something that you're really working toward or desiring, even if you haven't really worked towards it that much. And then the second question is, what is the emotion that you're chasing? So by accomplishing this thing, what is the emotion that you're hoping to feel on the other side? And just be honest with yourself. Sometimes it could be the ego. Sometimes it's a mix. Ego's not all bad. It's when we over-identify with the ego that it becomes harmful. Great. So now you have what you're working towards. You have the emotion that you're chasing. And now just ask yourself, how can I bring this emotion into my life today? How can I bring this emotion into my life today? So you're taking it from out there and putting the gift of the emotion right in your heart. Sometimes this is undoing and rewiring the patterns of how you're really conditioned to feel for your whole life. I know for me, I have like a pattern of getting into anxiety, which is what brought me to meditation in the first place, and stress and overthinking. And, to remember that, wow, that pattern from my childhood of hiding and this and that, like, I don't need that anymore. It's allowed to be this good. So what is the emotion that you want to bring, and how can you do that today? Beautiful. Take a breath in and out. And just thank and honor yourself for listening to yourself, for not doubting yourself, for trusting whatever arises or doesn't arise, and being kind and compassionate with yourself with what you find. Beautiful. Beautiful. So with all of that, I want to bless you all before we close by going back to the song by Shannon Warto, Mission Statement. And I want you to see how this relates now after everything that we've just learned. Listen carefully to this song by Shannon as a prayer.
Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Open heart, open mind, open eyes and open ears. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. All of which is to be done with joy, laughter, song, compassion, authenticity, and appreciation. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Gain strength through times of suffering, and teach others through action, not thought. By doing this, you'll discover your path through following your heart. By following your heart, you will be fulfilled and happy. That happiness will make you whole and give you inner peace. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Love, listen and learn from life with openness. Love, listen and learn from life with openness.
Just take a moment to take that in. What a gift. What a gift. And Shannon, you can call back in now and we can welcome you back to end our session today. Love, listen, and learn from life with openness. You know, I was thinking about this today because I was feeling a little stressed, and I think I'll share this with you. I'm in process with it, but I'm in process with it. But I'm going to share this with you all because just to help you see the other parts of your life. So one of the things that I'm facing, like right now, is, you know, I'm having this huge desire come up in me right now to like be performing music more again and to be on stage again and to be doing that again. And I sometimes get down on myself about like, Justin, you did all this and you put out an album and this and that, and you haven't even done a show in a year. Like what are you doing? And like, you know, then this thing gets in my head of like, I've wasted all my time. I'm wasting my life. Like, what am I doing? You know, I don't know if you all get into this state, but we all do. Literally, I talk to some of the biggest spiritual teachers. We all get into this space, right? And so I get into this space, and then listening to Shelah reminded me to ask that question of, okay, Justin, let's pretend the whole vision comes true, right? Let's pretend the whole thing comes true. You're on stage at fucking wherever, the biggest stage ever, you know, and all the people, and you have you have everybody, right? And you're doing it. What is the emotion that you're chasing? What's the emotion? Because what I know from lots of people that I've talked with that are doing it, right? And one of my coaches some of like the biggest stars in the world. And what she says is, look, some of them are there on that stage and they're miserable, right? So it can't just be about getting there. What's the emotion that you're chasing? By that book you want to write, by that art you want to create, by the kids you want to have, by the relationship that you want to be in, by the music video, whatever it is that you are creating, what is it that you're chasing? And so today, as I was listening to Shelah, you know, I was thinking, like I'm just wanting some like open, like a little bit more wildness in my sense of expression, right? And I do it here at the Kingdom, but it's something a little bit different, right? And so I'm like, wow, how do I bring that into my life now? So we'll see. And I don't have the answer exactly yet. I think a little bit more dancing, a little bit more shaking it. I'd be dancing in here all the time, but like a little bit more of that level of expression is what I'm looking for. And I think underneath it, if I really go to the shadow underneath it all, is the little Justin in me just wants to feel like he's good enough of a singer. He just wants, like, that's actually what's really underneath it. He just wants to be validated and feels like he's good enough. And he doesn't want to be shut down anymore. And he wants me to let him play and sing. And so there's a lot to explore in there. And I'll be exploring it more this week. But I just am sharing that with you because we're all on this journey together. Okay? We're all on this journey together. And so notice what you're chasing. Notice how the chasing is what takes you off track. And notice how you can bring the emotion of what it is that you really want forward. That's it, right? That's it. And so, Shannon, I want to welcome you back up to the stage with us today, just to, first of all, thank you for that gift that you've given us today. What a gift. Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I'm wondering if there's anything that you want to share with the group right now that's coming from your heart.
When I think about what I want for myself, it's still a little private, but the feeling that's associated with it is this sense of unbounded love and pure authenticity and just shining so bright and being a model.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. And I also I love how you just modeled for us that you can keep the vision private and still just go right there to the root of the emotion. Just wonderful, Shannon. I'm sending you all the prayers. And I just want to honor, the Celtic Irish ancestry and roots that literally come reverberating through your voice and pulls us into that lineage and that space. And just thank you for bringing your gifts. I think one of the important things for me in this community that we're building is that everybody has space to share and to cultivate their gifts. And so you're an example of showing how we can do that together. And hopefully it felt good to share your gift with 1,000 people today. So
it felt amazing, and I'm just so grateful and really grateful to connect with you all. Thank you so much.
Much love, Shannon. We'll see you soon. Well, everybody show Shannon some love. And, last but not least, as we're here closing out today and we are here at our kingdom, we remember that in all the new cycles that I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. In all the new cycles that we're birthing in our lives, that we always anchor back into, what's the energy? What's the essence? What is it that I really want? As you remember Vanessa in saying, and we rise together. And I'll be here with you all every single step of the way. I love you so much. I'm going to go put on my earbuds and have a dance party. A dance party for one. And I'll meet you right here in this special place in our next session. This is Justin Michael Williams. Bye for now.